Hello, everybody. weebrabbit here, and welcome back to the Otaku Overlord podcast, episode 52. Now, if you guys remember, last week I had said that we might not be back this week because of the whole Thanksgiving, holiday, and people go out of town sometimes, that sort of thing, or they're busy, celebrating with family, blah, blah, blah. And, well, just want to say that, yes, unfortunately, Legend of Jonathan is busy with some stuff. He wasn't able to be here. However, I had some time, so I thought, hey, why don't I sit down, do a solo episode, just real quick. The plan is to make it a short one, and then hopefully next week we'll be back to normal, So yes, it's just me this week, but I just thought I'd sit down, talk about some stuff that I did, a couple of news stories, and that'll be it, just nice, short, sweet. So getting down to it, one of the things that I did that we've talked about for the last couple of weeks since the game came out is that I played more of Super Mario RPG. And yeah, the game just continues to be really fun. It's really great just playing through it and seeing all the stuff that I have played before and recognize, but seeing it updated, And I don't know, it's just been a blast. I'm pretty far into it. Something I've noticed is that's so funny. When I was a kid, I remember that my uncle used to have a Super Nintendo, and he used to have the actual, original Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. And I remember the game being difficult back when I was a kid, and I remember it being really long for some reason. And now as I'm playing through it, it just feels like it's really easy and it's really short. So I just think it's kind of funny. It's one of those things that there's some games that you could swear they're really long, or you can swear they're really difficult or whatever, but you play them again as an adult, now you have or even if it's I mean not an adult, but just replaying them, and kind of knowing what to expect. And you notice that the games are not that long, or they're not that difficult once you have an idea of what to do. And not only that, but since then, that might have been maybe my first ever RPG. And since then I've played a ton of them, so I know what it is to grind and actually buy the right equipment and stats and all that stuff. And so it's funny just seeing that I'm this is so easy. It has not been difficult at all. I've not died once or been close to dying. So I don't know, I just think it's really funny. But regardless though, the game is really fun. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. Continue to recommend it. And I'm not quite done with it yet, but I am excited to get to the end and see. I know there's supposed to be some replayability where you can re-challenge some bosses. I definitely want to do that. And I definitely want to get to the end to see if there's anything that might hint at, some sort of a continuation, which I think it's a bit of a long shot, but, I'm trying to not be spoiled. I haven't really looked into it. Like I said before, when I was talking about Legend of Jonathan, even if there's not, that's fine. But regardless, I still want to, hold out hope there's something there, But yeah, Super Mario RPG continues to be fun. I continue to recommend it, and I will continue to play it. I think I will. I don't know if I'll finish it by next week because I know there's some stuff coming up that might keep me busy. But I hope to at least finish it by the end of the year. So yeah. Then after that, the next thing that I did is that I actually watched more of Invincible season 2. I watched the 4th episode. That's how many episodes are out right now. And I think after this 4th episode, it's going to take a little mid-season break or something. I think that's what I had heard. But regardless, the reason I want to talk about it, and then I might not talk about it again until after the whole season is done, is that up to now, the whole season has basically been okay, it picks up where the first season left off. And it's been a lot of setup, it feels. It gets setting up stuff with Mark, aka Invincible, and the fallout of, his fight with his dad and all the stuff that happened there, and him trying to recover from that and move on, right? And continue to be a hero. And then it sets up some stuff with his mom and her dealing with the grief of, loss of her husband and everything she knew was a lie and almost losing her son, that sort of thing, right? So there's some setup there. And there's some setup with Adam Eve and how she wants to be this solo humanitarian hero. She doesn't really want to work for anybody, but there's been some stuff there about some of the stuff she tries to do doesn't exactly go as planned, so there's been some stuff there, and there's been some stuff with some other characters, some of the villains, kind of seeing what they're up to and kind of what they're plotting to do that might, be some threats in the future. So definitely a lot of setup, right? A lot of setup, even though it's been interesting. It's kind of felt like, okay, what is this all leading to? And finally, without spoiling it, in the fourth episode, it finally kind of, you can see, kind of reaches like a bit of a climax where you can kind of see what it's leading up to. Like there's like a really big moment at the end of episode 3, and episode 4 is all about that, thing. And it kind of sets up where everything's kind of headed, I feel. So yeah, it was just really interesting, and I just continue to enjoy it. I think it's really well done. I really like it. I think, everything has been just really interesting. And I don't know, some people have said they think the animation quality is a bit lower, or they say that it had like less fighting and stuff, which like, I don't know, I don't really feel like it. I think it's been fine, but I don't know, you'd have to watch it for yourself and, decide for yourself what you think. But I think that so far season 2 has been really well done. It's been really fun to watch, a lot of anticipation, a lot of wondering what's going to happen, and I'm just enjoying it, and I just can't wait to see more. Like I said, if there really is that mid-season break or whatever, I will be waiting with bated breath to see what happens next, because it definitely ends in a place where it kind of makes you go like, ooh, okay, that's interesting. Wonder what's gonna happen. So yeah, Invincible season 2. I like it. I think it's good. Fortunately, it is only on Amazon Prime Video, which that kind of sucks. It might not be that available to everybody, but if you have Prime or you're interested in watching it, you don't mind like paying for, I don't know if you can like watch it if you like pay for it or whatever. I definitely think it's worth it. I think it's really, really well done. Really interesting look at the superhero genre, but it kind of, how to play something straight, kind of messes with some stuff. I don't know. I just think it's really, really good. So then after that, I watched Pokemon Paldean Wins episode 3, which unfortunately is the last episode of this little mini series, because it was only going to be 3 episodes, which I think is really lame. I wish that made more. Like I just think it's like so interesting, and I love what they're doing with looking at Paldea and looking at these students and the school, etc. So I will miss it. I think it's unfortunate that it's just like a mini series. I wish they would do more, but I enjoy what it was. I think it was fun. Basically, in this third episode, this time we focus on Homa, who is the kind of like nerdy looking kid with glasses. That he has the Quaxley, and the first episode focused on Ohara, and it was called Breathe Out. Then the next episode was called Breathe In, and it focused on Alicus. And this one was called Take a Breath. So I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why they followed that little gimmick, or you want to call it, but it worked. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, basically this one focuses all on Homa, and it begins with him talking to, like, I guess you could say, like the people who run like the student paper or something like that. And fun fact, the last episode ended with Alicus that he was in a fight in Nimona, and he kind of found his confidence, but we didn't really show what was going to happen, right? And I think it's really funny that here they confirm that, yes, he lost to her 3 times in a row. Nimona is just that badass. She's that good. So that made me kind of laugh a little bit. But yeah, basically Homa, he wants to pitch a story to the school newspaper about Nimona and how she's like this great, champion, and she's like a runaway Pokemon prodigy, that she beat Alicus, like 3 times in a row, and just totally like swept the floor with him or whatever. And they say no, and instead they say that they want to do like a story about something else, maybe about Team Star, which, if you've played the games, Scarlet and Violet, Team Star is this kind of I don't know, it's like the students that they're kind of supposed to be like the equivalent of like the other like Team Rocket and stuff like that, but it's really just these students that feel like outsiders, and so they have like these like members, and they're like little gangs or whatever, right? So I don't know. You'd have to play the game. They're fun though. I like them. I like the different leaders and all whatever, and But anyway, they want to do a story about Team Star. So Homa, he's feeling a little bit dejected that they didn't want to take his pitch or whatever. But when he sees Ohara and Alicus and they're talking, and he notices that they seem different, probably because of their episodes, they've gone through some stuff and they've grown and they've kind of found their confidence or whatever. And for some reason, he thinks, oh, if I really do a story about Team Star, I'll get like the respect I've been looking for, and people will pay attention to me. This is my big break or whatever. So he goes to one of the Team Star bases. He says he's going to join, and I forget what her name is, unfortunately, but he joins the chapter or whatever. He goes to the base of the girl with like the war paint, that she looks kind of like hardcore and whatever. She's like really buff and like whatever. And so he like goes and joins her, and basically she has him running like a bunch of like laps, and she has him like doing a bunch of posing and this and that. He's all like tired, he can't keep up. And as he's doing that, his Quaxley actually evolves. And right after it evolves, their little motor Pokemon that is running their big old float or whatever, it runs wild. And the girl actually like climbs on top and she feeds it a berry and she calms it down. And I don't know, he feels kind of dejected when he sees how nice Team Star is being. And so he kind of leaves, and he like is like, oh man, you know, there's no story here. Everyone says all that stuff about Team Star, but they're really nice. And I don't know, like he feels bad about wanting to get like a scoop on them and making them like look bad, I guess, and like exposing them. And he's feeling really sad, but then his Pokemon, you know, starts dancing, and he realizes that's trying to make him feel better. And I don't know, for some reason that makes him feel better. He doesn't feel as like dejected and stuff anymore. And he's happy that, you know, his Pokemon cares about him so much and whatever. And the episode kind of ends where he goes back and he pitches to O'Hara and Alicus, because the whole point is that they're supposed to like make a video that promotes like the school or whatever. And they get this idea that since in this region, the whole point of the school is that in order to graduate, you have to like go like out and like you can either, you know, challenge all the gyms and become a champion, or you can find your treasure, which is like different for every person, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like you travel the region and all that stuff. They kind of have an idea that they should make a video where they just like incorporate everything from the region, like the different, you know, what do you call them? The different, not monuments, what do you call them? The different landmarks and different, you know, Elite Four and trainers and gyms and all that stuff. Like they want to incorporate all sorts of stuff from around the region. And they think that, yeah, that'll like help promote the school, because it also shows that, you know, as part of the school, the whole point is that you like travel all around the region. There's so much places and things you can learn. And it's like a journey of self-discovery, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of ends with them just having like all these ideas and brainstorming. And that's kind of it. And like I said, it's nice. I like it. I think it's really cool how we focus on each of these trainers and their relationships, their Pokemon, and then find their confidence and blah, blah, blah. I think it's a shame that it was only 3 episodes, because I feel like it ended like too soon. Like I would have liked to have seen way more, you know? But at least for what it was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I really recommend it. You know, if you haven't watched them, they're really fun. I think the animation's really well done. I think the characters are fun. I think it's nice having this look at Paldea and making it seem like so lived in, you know, and like being on the ground, looking at these, you know, Pokemon trainers that are also students and stuff. And like, I don't know, we didn't really have an anime that covered the Paldea region, like not really, you know, because Journeys kind of does its own thing and Horizons kind of does its own thing. So, you know, Horizons touches upon a bit more, but I don't know. I just think the being able to be like on the ground at the school and like the region was just really fun. And yeah, I just thought it was really cool. And I really like that we get to see Nimona just being like this like kick-ass champion. I thought that was really fun too, you know? So I recommend it. I think it's really fun. And all the episodes are out now. Like I said, it's only 3 episodes. So it's a really short watch. These episodes only like 10 minutes or something, but I think it's worth watching, you know? So I recommend it. And finally, the last thing that I watched is that you guys might remember that a while ago I had mentioned that there was an adaptation of NieR Automata. There was an anime version called NieR Automata version 1.1a. And this is one of those anime, oh man, there's some other ones too that I think they're supposed to like, you know, what's it called? Zom 100. That's it. Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. Supposedly in December, the rest of the episodes are going to come out. I'm excited for that, so we can finally, you know, finish watching it. I can talk about it. But yeah, NieR Automata version 1.1a, it's one of those that, man, just like because of COVID and around that time, things really got thrown off. Things got really sidetracked or whatever and delayed. And even though the full version did come out, I think it finished like in July, something like that. I had just been waiting because I wanted to watch the dub. And unfortunately, the dub only went to like episode 8. And then because of the whole actor strike or whatever, at least that's what I had heard, they hadn't finished the dub. Luckily, all of that's over. The dub finally came out, all that good stuff. And I just have a connection, I have a fondness for the dub because when I played the game, I, played it with the dub. And I think that Kira Buckland as 9B, I'm sorry, Kira Buckland as 2B, and Kyle McCartney as 9S, I think they do a phenomenal job. I think their voice acting is on point. Really, really good. Really recommend. So long story short, I had been waiting for the dub to come out. Finally came out. And yeah, man, this anime, it's very different from the game. Because the game, you play through it and it has like different endings and there's all sorts of side quests you can do and all sorts of, I don't know, just the way you play it. Obviously, it's very different because it's like very open world and you go to these different areas and you grind and do side quests, and the side quests kind of uncover more of like the story of like the world and like lore that connects to like other stuff in the NieR franchise or whatever. And obviously playing it's very different, right? So as a anime, it has to move stuff around and do things very differently, etc., right? However, I still think it's a pretty good adaptation. Like the way it follows the core story, I still think is really well done. And some of the liberties it takes like really help. Like there's some you can almost say kind of like there's some stuff that we find out once again through like lore in world, right? From like reading files and from like doing side quests and stuff about kind of like stuff that happens before the story. And it has to do kind of like with like one of the first wars against the machines and all that. And part of the people that we see now is the resistance and some of the other units that are part of 𝐥𝐤𝐤, which is like the whole robot army. We kind of see like the war that took place like many years ago, right? And here they actually depict it, which is really cool. Like we actually see it animated. So long story short, it's just really well done. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I think that once again, Kira Buckland and Kyle McCartney, they do an excellent job as 2B and 9S. It's really cool. And yeah, basically for anyone who hasn't played the game, I really recommend playing the game. Or at the very least, I think that if you watch this anime, it does do a very good job of not exactly like I would say like it is a substitute, but it does a good job of being like supplementary material, And so I recommend it. I think it's really well done. I still recommend the game though. I think you should play it or like at least look up a playthrough. I think this game is excellent with like the themes it has and the voice acting and the story and the emotions and stuff. I think it's really good. And yeah, I just think this anime did a very good job. And I'm glad that we finally got around, that the first season is completed both in sub and dub version. And yeah, I just can't wait until the second season comes out, This first season basically ends or ending, I can say, kind of combines ending A and B together because they are very similar. So it kind of ends where ending A/B end. So that means that, yeah, the second season I would think would cover either the rest of the story or at least all of ending like C, you know what I mean? And then maybe like a third season for like the last bit. I'm not too sure. But regardless, I think it does a pretty good job. It's very hard adapting like a kind of like open world-ish action RPG. But I think it does a really good job of what it does. So I enjoy it. I think it's good. Again, I recommend watching the anime. I even recommend the dub. I think the dub is very well done. And I say go check out the game. And if you aren't really too good at these types of games, if you're not going to play it for yourself, at least check out a like playthrough. If you know like a Let's Player or whatever, or a streamer that you really like watching, you think they do a good job, try to look them up, see if they've played this. And, I think it's a really fun experience. I think it's really good. And I'm excited to see more. So yeah. All right, and that is it for my week. Pretty short. I just played some stuff, watched some stuff, etc. What I'm hoping to come back with next week, I know that Good Burger 2 is out. I really want to watch that. I'm excited for that. And there's some games as well that I want to check out, some indie stuff. Hopefully I play those. And yeah, maybe just some more anime. I'm hoping some of them kind of start coming to a close, that way I can talk about them. So yeah, we'll see what I bring to the table next week, For now, though, let's move on to the news. The first news story I want to talk about, and they're all going to be pretty short, honestly. They're just kind of some like announcements, some hey, check this out sort of things. But regardless, the first news story is about South Park Snow Day, which everyone might remember that we talked about that a while ago when it got announced. It's supposed to be the next South Park game that instead of being a 2D RPG sort of thing, this is going to be a 3D, like more open world, not open world, more like open combat, if that makes sense. Instead of being like on tiles and RPG, it looks like it's more you're running around attacking things, right? And yeah, as the title of the article states, South Park Snow Day gameplay trailer screenshots. And then the little subtitle says 4-player cooperative game due out in 2024. So yeah, basically it shows kind of the setup that it's Cartman and he's inviting the new kid, because in these games he always plays the new kid. That way you can kind of customize your character. Yeah, basically they're back to their Stick of Truth costumes, right? Which was like the first game where it's supposed to be kind of like a parody of like Lord of the Rings, right? So it's back to them playing and using those costumes. And yeah, basically it's just like there's like this snow. It's like a snow day. There's a bunch of snow. The town is kind of in shambles because people aren't really sure what to do because apparently, I don't know, everything's just kind of going wrong because they're snowed in or whatever. But the kids don't care. They're kind of running around. And basically, yeah, Cartman Cartman employs the new kid to like join their side or whatever, help them in their little war. And basically, it looks like it's just you running around and you're attacking people. And like I said, it's not really like, tile based. It's more like you're running around, doing all these attacks, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's basically you can play by yourself or with friends or online. You can play up to 4 people. And I don't know. I thought it would look pretty interesting. I thought it looked pretty cool. I think their games are pretty good. So it's kind of interesting to see what they do with this game and what they do that's new or whatever. But I don't know. I was really surprised that in the comments, link in the description below, a lot of people were complaining about it. And they're like, oh, this looks so bad. And who asked for this? And I don't know. I was just really surprised because I think it looks fine. I think it looks like the next step of what they've done, but instead of it being like an tile-based RPG again and it being 2D, like they decided, okay, let's try to do it in like 3D and let's try to make it more, like I said, like it's kind of like an actual world you're running around in and attacking stuff. Like I don't know, I think it looks fine. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope it's a good game, and I hope it's funny, and it's not even full price. I think they said it was only going to be like $30, right? So like, I don't know. I want to try it out. I'm interested, but I just thought like so many people in the comments were like being like really negative and like it looks bad, it looks like trash, and like I don't know why they decided to go in this direction and blah blah blah. Who asked for this? Like it was just really really weird. I don't know, but I don't know. Choose make the decision for yourself. Look at it, decide if you think it looks bad or not. I think it looks fine. Like I said, I'm kind of interested to see where this goes or whatever. And yeah, we'll see if it's good or not. But I think it looks interesting. I want to play it. I want to check it out. So yeah, but there you go. It's coming out sometime in 2024. Looks like it's coming to just about all systems because PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch, PC, all that good stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see how the game does, So there you go. Then after that, this next one is quite a doozy. Basically, we got the trailer for the next Sony. Oh my god, what are they calling it? They're calling it like the Spider-Man. Oh my god, what are they calling this freaking cinematic universe? It's like so weird. It's like the Spider-Man cinematic universe, or like the Spider. I forget what it's called. But the point is, in the same universe as the Venom movies and Morbius, and the upcoming Craven. Basically they have this universe where it's Spider-Man stuff, but without Spider-Man, right? Or at least not yet. I mean, maybe at some point they'll choose to put in a Spider-Man. I don't know. Regardless, though, the point is that they have the next movie in this universe, and they have the trailer for Madam Web. And oh my god, does it look really weird. It looks really bad. like basically the whole point is that there's this girl and she's gonna gain powers, right? And it's supposed to be like, I don't know. From what I've seen, Madam Web always seems like she's like this older lady, right? Like I know in the '90s cartoon, I think she was voiced by Stanley's wife, and yeah, she's just this lady that she's always like kind of like in this chair, and she's supposed to be like clairvoyant, and she kind of provides like I don't know, guidance and stuff, right? Like, I don't, I'm not really too familiar with her, but I know she seems to be like she provides guidance. And like I said, the cartoon, that's what I'm most familiar with. She like helps Spider-Man, right? And she's supposed to be like paralyzed and like telepathic and clairvoyant and stuff. And like, yeah, whatever, right? Here it's really weird because they're making her really young and she's using her clairvoyance to like I don't know, like help because she's gonna be like attacked by like this like rip off looking Spider-Man that I think his name's like Ezekiel or something. Like, I don't know, man. It's just so weird. It's just weird. But yeah, it's like based on like this like evil looking Spider-Man that his name is like Ezekiel. And he's trying to like hunt her down for some reason. And it's her, and she's teamed up with these like other ladies that I guess they're all supposed to be like characters from Spider-Man, right? Because once again, they're using Spider-Man characters but without Spider-Man, and so it's like just I don't know, man. I just don't even know what to say. It just looks really weird. It doesn't look very good. Um, like it looks. A lot of people in the comments are saying it looks like a fan project, and it really does. It's really weird. It looks like a fan project both in quality and in like story. It just looks really badly done. Like the Craven movie doesn't look like it's very good, but at least it looks like polished compared to this. Like this just looks really weird. It looks like it feels like a made for TV movie or something. Like it doesn't look very good. Like it's very strange. But yeah, basically I looked at the synopsis because I hadn't really looked it up this whole time. But it just says that Dakota Johnson will play Cassandra Webb, aka Madam Webb. She's a paramedic in Manhattan. She's a clairvoyant with psychic abilities. And it says that basically she's forced to confront her past while trying to survive with three young women with powerful futures. And so she's Madam Web. Another character will be Julia Carpenter, aka Spider-Woman, Maddie Franklin, also Spider-Woman, and Anya Corazon, aka Araña. And they're going to be, hunted by Ezekiel Sims, which is like evil Spider-Man looking guy. And I don't know, man. Like, it looks really bad. Looks really like, I don't know. It looks like fan made. It looks kind of like if it's like, I don't know. It's just really bad. Look at it for yourself. This definitely does not look like something that's coming out in like 2023, 2024, or whatever. Like, if you look at it, the quality and like the pacing and stuff, it either looks like like a made for TV thing, or it looks like one of those movies that would have came out like in early like 2000s. It just looks very strange. Like I don't know, man. It's just really, really weird. But I guess we'll see how it does, and we'll see how it goes and how it leads into other stuff. Because if it's supposed to be in the same universe as stuff like Craven and Venom and Morbius, I guess we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I just don't think people are very interested in it. If people were at least interested in Venom, like if you look at all the comments, people are just like clowning on it, saying that it reminds them of like Morbius and stuff. And we all know how that did. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see how it goes. Check out the trailer for yourself. But it just looks very, very not good. Like I just don't know. So there you go. All right, next up, the next news story. As the title of the article states, Rascal does not dream of a knapsack kid, film's first 3 minutes streamed. So I'm excited for this one. I believe I've talked about this plenty of times, either in the podcast or during different episodes of our LPs. But there is this anime based on a visual novel based on a light novel series, called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. And I've talked about it before. that even though you look at the cover image, you look at the title, it sounds really weird, and it sounds like it's going to be like this crazy, ecchi. I don't know what it's going to be because, the main girl, she's wearing like a bunny girl costume. Surprisingly, it's actually a pretty deep series full of a lot of emotion, a lot of drama. It's a really good romance story, and it even deals with a lot of science fiction stuff. Because for anyone who doesn't know, there's our main character, and he lives in a world where there's this thing called adolescence syndrome, that as you're going through basically, puberty and growing up, and your hormones are acting up, you're dealing with all these different emotions and changes in your life, they manifest as these weird phenomenon. Where, like, the first arc, for instance, it's about this girl that, because she's not in the public eye and she feels like she's kind of being forgotten by the public, it manifests in literally people not remembering her, and she like doesn't exist. They can't see her because basically out of sight, out of mind. And then there's another arc where there's this girl that, because she's not happy with herself, this like second personality kind of like appears, and it's kind of acting in a way that the stuff that she's too shy to do, it kind of does. And it's all because she's not happy with like her personality, and she feels like she's too meek and too reserved or whatever. And so there's all these like things that happen that tie into ideas of like, what is it, like quantum mechanics, quantum physics or whatever, like, Laplace's demon, Schrodinger's cat, stuff like that. And basically our main character, as he helps these girls deal with their issues that they're having in their life, whether it's emotional, psychological, whatever, stuff that they're upset about, as he's kind of helping them get over these things, it also helps them deal with these strange phenomenon. So it's really interesting, trust me. Long story short, the anime came out, it was 12 episodes, covered a very good portion of the light novel. Then there was the first movie that covered, I think it was like volume 6 and 7. And that movie was really good. Really loved it. I think it's really emotional, really well done. Then earlier this same year, there was like another movie that this one covered. I think it was like volume 8 or something. But that one wasn't as great. Honestly, it just doesn't cover as much of the story. What it covers is kind of meh, like it's all right, but it's just, I don't know. The one I was really excited for is this one, the one that's called Dream of a Knapsack Kid, because this is the one where it's supposed to kind of get back to like the hardcore stuff. It's supposed to be the end of our main characters, in high school or whatever. And yeah, it's just supposed to be like, from what I've seen, it's supposed to be pretty good. Gonna deal with some stuff. And I'm just excited because this has been a very good series. It's been really well done what they've adapted so far. And I'm just hoping that once it gets to these little arcs, I'm hoping that, once they're done with like the whole high school arc and these different stories, I've heard about some of the other stories that are supposed to be happening in the light novel. I hope that maybe we get a second season of the anime. If we don't, it's fine. As long as we keep getting these movies or OVAs or whatever, I think that'd be really cool. But I'm excited for this because it's supposed to adapt some really good stuff. And I'm just excited because, if you look at those first 3 minutes, it doesn't really show much. It just kind of shows your characters on like walking around on the beach, whatever. But I'm just excited that the movie is finally going to be out. And I'm hoping that it releases, like the dub or the sub, whatever, so I can watch it because I know it's in theaters in Japan first. So I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm happy this is almost out. I just want to watch it. And yeah, I hope anyone who hasn't checked it out yet, I hope you guys check out the series because trust me, it's really good. I think it's top notch. I recommend it. So yeah, there you go. Alrighty, and finally, our last news story. It's another short one, more of an announcement, more of like a, hey, look forward to this in the future, that sort of thing. But I'm pretty excited. As the title states, Oshi no Ko anime's second season to air in 2024. So yeah, you guys remember Oshi no Ko, Mutant Legend of Jonathan. We're talking about the anime as it was, coming out. And we talked about how that first episode's really interesting and oh man, it just shows that this anime was going to go places, really exciting. It's really cool because it's by the same writer of Kaguya-sama Love is War. This time they're teamed up, to write the manga and someone else is drawing it. But so far it's been really well done. And regardless, The anime first season was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting with like a lot of subject matter, the look into the entertainment industry, idol industry, all that good stuff. And yeah, the first season ended. I thought it was really well done. I thought that people seemed to really enjoy it. You know, they had a good time. If you actually read the article here, it says that, you know, it was a High Dive exclusive, and apparently it was like their number one like streaming anime or whatever. Like it did really, really well, apparently. Like it was like a big hit. And yeah, basically, since it ended, I've kind of kept up with the manga here and there. I'm not like super caught up, but I've looked at some stuff that's coming up, and it looks like there's some pretty good stuff, you know? And I was really hoping that there would also be a second season or, you know, whatever. I hope they keep adapting it. And yeah, sure enough, we finally got news that yes, we're getting a second season, and it's pretty cool. I look forward to it. I hope the more people keep watching it. I hope that it keeps up the good quality, all that good stuff. I'm excited for more. And they have a teaser visual, which doesn't really show much. It just kind of shows some characters. It kind of shows that, you know, this second season, I'm pretty sure it's going to cover the arc where they're doing like this stage play or whatever. And that's kind of seems like what the visual shows. It shows like they're going to do the stage play or whatever. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, if no one has checked this out yet, I hope that you check out the first season of the anime, which is all, you know, it's out now, both, you know, dubbed and subbed. Check out the manga. It's really, really good. And yeah, hopefully you look forward to seeing this second season of the anime. I know I'm looking forward to it. And man, it's just really exciting how I really do feel like we're like this in this golden age of anime where it feels like just about everything gets adapted. And I mean, for better or worse, I mean, obviously some trash gets adapted too, right? But I mean, all these really good things just get adapted, and it seems like a surefire thing. And the adaptions are usually pretty good too. So I don't know. I just think that's really cool seeing all these really good series coming out. And then, you know, if you're like reading them, it's really exciting to see that they also get adapted into like an animated format. Like, I just think it's really, really cool. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you are too. We don't really know when it's going to come out yet. This is 2024, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. You know, I hope it comes out like sooner, because then that'd be kind of cool if like maybe, you know, like sometime like in the spring, and who knows, maybe we can even get like a season 3 like in the winter. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Even if it takes a while, that's fine. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's really cool. And yeah, it's just been like a really wild, fun ride so far. So, you know, there you go. Alrighty, guys, that's going to be it for this week. I don't really have a, you know, topic of the week or anything. And the news stories were pretty short. It was just really little announcements or whatever. But hopefully, you know, like I said, next week we'll be back to normal. Hopefully Legend of Jonathan will be here. I'm pretty sure he will. That way he can join me so we can, you know, have our podcast or whatever again. I don't think no, I was looking, the Game Awards are not quite yet. We should have another week of hopefully just, you know, being back to normal. And the week after that, we should be covering the Game Awards, which that should hopefully be exciting. But there you have it, guys. Should be a short podcast. You know, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed all the same. Hopefully some of the stuff I talked about you guys want to check out. Hopefully some of the news, you guys are looking forward to some of the stuff that was announced. Maybe except for Madam Web, or who knows, maybe you want to watch it. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people watch Morbius, you know, unironically. So, you know, but there you have it, guys. I hope that you guys had a fun time with this episode. We will try our hardest to be back next week. Like I said, back to normal. Until then, hope everyone has a good one. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.